Hello everybody, I hope you're all well. I've used this cloth again to try to keep, the journal in the space where it should be. So I've got two journals to show you. These are the final two, and they were both commissioned by the same from the same person who commissioned one for her friend and one for her mum. And the same lady, Martine, also had a journal from me in the past, which was for herself. It was an art journal, and it was one of my favourites. I mean, I absolutely loved it. It was such a beautiful book. That was last Christmas, and so it's a real joy to be able to do more books for her, and especially because I know her mum, Helen, very well, and she's a wonderful lady, and I couldn't be more pleased but terrified to be able to make a book for her because she's a very creative lady, very, very creative herself, and yeah, she's amazing. And there were 3 other commissions, which was amazing, as I say. And I every bit of work I do, I take seriously. Commissions are on another level, though. They're to get them right, to get them to be somehow meaningful to the recipient, can be a challenge. But I get some information about the person who's going to receive them, and then I try to do my best to make them so that they would, I don't know, resonate. So anyway, I'll start with this one. This is for Martine's friend, and I used the Locta paper that I've used in the past. I've made one in this silver Locta paper before, Apples and Pears, and I've also, you may recall, used it recently in the gold, which was beautiful. And I made 3 journals with the gold Apple and Pears, the Christmas journal. I made 3 of those, so the people ordered them. So and I've got one to finish, but that's not for anybody else. That's just for myself. So so this the Locta paper is really nice. I made this from scratch. So it's I used board, the board you get when you cut up sketchbooks and things like that. So I used that and created a little spine. I'll give you the measurements. Excuse me, bending over there. Sorry if the table's wobbling. It hasn't been wobbling for a while. So that's 16 centimeters, 6 3/4 in, no, 6, just over 6 1/4 inch width, and then the length is 23 centimeters. That's just under 9.5 inches, and then the spine is 1 inch. So it has 2 signatures sewn in using waxed thread. So we'll make a start. So the lady is interested in art. I'll just check that's in camera. Oh, how do I come out there? See how easy it is for me to do that. So the lady is interested in art, and also her home, and also her garden. So I've tried to incorporate these things into this journal using the papers that I've got generally. I haven't used digitals, I don't think. There might be 1 or 2, but I don't recall using digitals. I made this one a little while ago. I've been trying to finish the other one off. So anyway, we'll make a start. This is Tim Holt. I used brown parcel paper to back it, and then I put these really deep pockets in. They're Tim Holtz papers, Oh, that's a bit tight actually. But anyway, so I put 2 art postcards in for the lady. She, I believe she's a Reiki master, I think. She does Reiki, so I thought she might be interested in those. This is beautiful paper from a book, vintage book. And yeah, I love the paper, so I've used it for both signature covers. Oh, where's the other one? Excuse my voice as well, I tend to get a bit croaky. Why can't they? Oh no, that's not it. I don't know what's... I should be able to find the there we go. There we are. Oh, don't they look gorgeous side by side? So this one was cut a little bit smaller, just because of the, I think it was just what was on the page wasn't very nice, so I cut it smaller. Anyway, so yeah, really pretty start. I've left pages with writing on so that the lady can do whatever she wants. I think she wants to be creative by making her own artwork, so she could, you know, cover this up in some way. And I've used washi in some of the areas just from the binding that I do. Sometimes I use a bit of washi if I think the holes are too visible. I've used vintage, that's cartridge paper, really nice old cartridge paper to draw on, or whatever, some mixed media. Nice little vintage book page there, and there is a pocket here. It's not hugely decorated in the, you know, junk journal. Some people, you know, how some are very, very decorated. Some of my own have been very, very decorated. This one is more simple, and the reason I've done that is because I want to provide inspiration for journaling. It's not just a pretty book, it's meant to be used as a journal. So as another card, this one is from, I thought it was a tape, but it's Rodin. So it's, yeah, one of his paintings, or yeah. And there's a nice little bit of, I thought this went really well with this, a little bit of fabric there. This is a Franken page. I really enjoy doing these, I love them, especially when I can find interesting papers. I did a little bit of swatching, you know, with watercolour. They're sort of like, they glisten, they've got gold and, you know, that sort of thing. I love that as well, so it was nice to be able to put that on. And then we've got some tissue paper as well, which I enjoy. Oh, that's not tissue paper, that's tracing paper. Got a little pocket there. It's just folded over from this page, so it's another Franken page. And I have folded this over here and made 2 pockets. So I've got one there and one there. And I've put these little sort of Polaroid style bits of paper in there to draw on, to, you know, do whatever. There we go. And then lovely, this is a Kew Gardens colouring box. So you've got the beautiful flower on one side, and then you can do the colouring of another on another side. If you had it the book, you get this, and then you get it in the style of this, so that you can colour it in the same if you want to. It's a lovely book. I recommend having a look at it. This is a little tuck spot here. I'll just grab something, show you the tuck. So there's a little tuck spot there, and it's just some inspiration for the home. Nice paper to do something on there. And then this is a pocket here, so you can put this inside here. So that could go in there like that, or in there the side. I love this tag. It's from a magazine, but you know, it's a magazine, a piece from a magazine, but I really love it. So yeah, that's a nice pocket. And then some grid paper there, another nice bit of inspiration on a small page there. Yeah, I love that. Some really nice cartridge paper. This is lovely paper, really thick. So you could do mixed media, whatever. More grid paper. So that was the middle of the signature, and then I've just stuck on a couple of these little sticky note things. They can be taken off and used in different places. There's a pocket here. There's a double pocket, so you've got one there and one there, and then two journaling cards. So there's some Tim Holtz and this image here that I backed with card. So I really like those two. Excuse me. I've used corner punch as well to put nice corners in there. It's not so. Started using that recently. More cartridge paper. The other side of that book page, colouring book page, writing space. I quite like having the writing space. Oh no, this is tracing paper. Well, that's interesting. But I do quite like having the writing space 2 pages together like that, because it's a nice big space to write. And more of the vintage book pages there. And we come to the back of the first signature. Second signature is more of the same, sort of inspiration wise. You've got a little tuck spot here, so you could put something in there. And this is a real dried flower, and this flips up. It's really just to protect it, so it doesn't come off. And then we've got this little piece of art here, which I really like, and there's art on the back there as well. So, but two nice images there. For inspiration, and then lovely cartridge paper again, and then this is quite a thick page because I've added oh yes, it was already thick paper, so it's recycled, and then I've added this, which has just made it even thicker. So this was from a magazine or an image, and I really like these, Friend and Magic and Heart, particularly as this is going to a friend, and some of my polka dot fabric. I just used a pen, a permanent ink pen, to make those polka dots, and it's just cotton fabric. Yes, there's a page here again that the lady could do whatever she wanted on, and then there's a lovely poem here. I like to include poems in my books. I generally do, especially when they're from scraps and things like this. You know, the way that I've done this one, more of a what you might call a junk journal, in the true sense, if you like, because a lot of it is recycled or old pages. Nice homely image there, and things to do, notebook. This is quite a textured cartridge paper there, little spot there for memories, and I've just tied some string on there. And then there's a bit of a colouring page there. And I mean, it's a very small tuck spot, you could tuck something in there as well. And then there's a pocket here, this is parcel paper, and then this is a digital image, I think it's Ruby and Pearl. And then I've just made a journaling card here to journal on, and with a pretty homely image, a pillow, little cushion. And then another pocket, and again using Tim Holtz. It's the same sort of paper as this, and the pockets from the same pad, I forget the name of it now. And then I've added a little bit of vintage linen there, and then a pretty image there. I'm not sure where I got this from, it's from a book, I think. Yeah, so that goes in there, and then I've added a little piece that. And then this is part of the book. I like the colours. I thought the colours went quite well. And more cartridge paper, really lovely, beautiful paper again. And more there. Put more parcel paper with a little pretty image there. And again, this is a tuck spot, so you could tuck something in there. And more tracing paper, and then there's another tuck spot here, pretty image, and then another homely image that I've backed with paper. And as I say, I haven't stuffed this one because I know that the lady will want to use it and fill it with her own things, so these are just for inspiration. So lovely image there, some more of that note paper. And I like using the construction paper in these books. Something from an art magazine or an art book. And then another little tuck here. You could tuck something in there, and that's some stencil with that paste that you can use it. You can stencil on, and that's the back. And then a matching pocket. And again, some more things. So there's another postcard there, and a pretty image there that can be used in the journal. So, and that's it for that one. So fairly straightforward. It's you know, big enough, but there is room for it to grow. For somebody who is a journaler and wants to do some art journaling, it's got room to grow, and it's got lots of inspiration. So it's a lovely journal. Oh gosh, I hope, yeah, I've been in. So I hope you enjoyed that flip through, and I'll do the next one now. So I'm just going to have a sip because I've got some elderberry syrup and tea for my throat. So you've probably seen this before. If you've seen my other videos, you'll have seen this fabric before because I used it on another journal. So I used the same. It does pick up little bits. It's with it having all these ridges. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a vintage fabric, and it's really gorgeous. The other one that I did, I put little pearls on, dotted around, and then a vintage button, and then a flower up here. But this one I've used, a doily and another vintage button, and then the same ribbon. It's not the same type of journal, it's completely different, but it's quite chunky. It just kept growing. So this one is for the lady that I know, but it's for her mum, and I know her mum, I just really wanted to get this right. I hope I have. So her name's Helen, and she is an artist herself. She does these amazing videos, and she's very into textiles, and she does these little figures. I'll link her. I think she's got an Instagram page. Well, no, she's got an Instagram page, so I'll link that. She's got a blog. I think she still uses it, so I'll see if I can link those things. Anyway, so she's an artist, but she's also a homebody. She's got a lovely house, lovely home, and she loves gardening. And I just wanted to incorporate textiles and home and garden and all of those sorts of things again, similar-ish to the other one. And I wanted to leave room for her to journal as well. I thought it would be helpful. So we'll open up. So I've used one of those bags again, so nice and crinkly like that. I haven't padded it in the way that I padded the other one with lots of layers. I've just used the one there, and I've hand stitched all the way around, and then I've hand stitched this pocket on, and just reinforced that top just by turning it over. So just the one pocket, just because it was getting bulky. And I did this not after the fact, but yeah, I did it later on in the process, so added the pocket rather. I love that detail as well, it's gorgeous. So I've added a couple of things to this. So there's some embroidery that I've done there, just it says the word river. And then this is from, I can't remember if it's oil or acrylic. It's difficult to tell. I think it's oil paint, and it's something I did a long time ago, many years ago, but I have this sketchbook that I've kept everything in, and I decided I wanted to use it in this journal. I wanted to give something personal, so that's what I've done. And this fabric is dyed with marigolds, so that's just a little journaling card goes in there. Oh yes, there's this as well, this little lobelia in a film slide that I've added in there as well, and I covered the slide with tissue paper, so I like the way that turned out. And then there's this, which is a lovely little story. It's a funny story, just very short, 1 page. So I've added that just because she has a great sense of humour and I like that, so I've added that in there. So this flips out here. It's a little article about lace, and then I've added this little journaling card that just tucks in the lace there. So I've added this on here. Don't think I stitched it. I've done a little bit of stitching in this, but I didn't stitch it. I think it's glued. This is just a book plate that's printed on one of those little square thermal printers. Some paper to write or draw or whatever. I've added some tabs. This is a French book, and I was using Ruby and Pearl Swallows digitals, and I thought this was lovely to add in, so I added these in as well. I really like them just because of the textile you know, the design on it, and I thought it went well with this. So I've added swatches and things like that around. So these are 3 different types of sort of, well, I don't know if you would call it ticking. It's fabric, but I don't know if it's linen, but I don't know if you'd call it ticking. So, but it's got that lovely stripy effect, which I really like. And then some grid paper there, or graph paper. And then, as I say, I've just added little tabs here and there, and this one is a pretty lace one with some embroidery on it. Some tracing paper, and a flip up here with a nice swatch design on. It's from a magazine, so it's from a magazine page, and then I've added more bits of artwork and some of my own artwork, and I thought these all went well together, so I've just added them in a little bundle, and then I've stitched this pocket on with the sewing machine. Again, lovely fabric, and I thought they tied in really well together. So this first, it's got 2, I forgot to say actually, it's got 2 signatures. I didn't give you the measurements, but I'll do that at the end. So yeah, it's got 2 signatures. The first signature is dedicated to her work, you know, this textiles and what have you, and her interest in that. So that's what the first signature is about. So this is one of my, I did this on another folded pattern paper, tissue paper. So I've done this before on a page, so I glue it on. I'll open it up for you to see anyway. So it opens up like that, and you can tuck things in. So it's glued on here. Oh, that's ripped. I'm going to have to sort that out. And I made these little, I printed them off, I can't remember if it was a Graphics Fairy or if it's off something else, but anyway, it's I printed them off. I'm sorry, I don't remember if it is a Graphics Fairy. Oh no, it isn't. It was it was off something else. So yes, so I made little needle books from them. So they were just sort of images, but I've made them into 3D and little packages that you can put things in. So you could put your needles in there, vintage needle, copies of vintage needle books. So yeah, so I will have to fix that because it is ripping. Obviously tissue paper is very delicate, so ripping there, so I'll do something about that. Paper to work on, draw, whatever. More paper here. This is watercolour paper. It's just a little bit of inspiration there. I haven't made this into a Franken page. I left it because I thought it was just interesting. And there's some grid paper that I've tied with a ribbon at the top. This is, let me grab this again. So this is a tuck spot here. I haven't put anything in because I'll let Helen decide what she wants. I have filled other pockets, but I haven't filled them all. I really like this image from, I think it was Selvage magazine. Sometimes I use those. Love that. Oh no, it was actually a book. It wasn't Selvage magazine. It was a book about patterns and art that I took it from. So, and then this is another sort of ticking, and I've made it into a swatch. Just put some, you know, sample words there, and then more paper, more of my blue paper there, and then this is put just a little flip out here, and this again, though this was from the Selvage magazine, so I've just put it on, made a little flip. I really like that image, and I've tied that up there. And I've brought it over to this side. I didn't make a pocket. I could have, but I didn't bother there. This is a vintage pattern, and glued it on that side there. Any stitching there. And then this is a little bit of slow stitch that I cut into pieces. You might have seen me do this, or you might have seen me cut it up into pieces. Some slow stitch, some crosses and things there. And then I thought it went well with this. This is a Ruby and Pearl pattern paper, you know, image design, and then I added it onto tracing paper, so I quite like that. Reminiscent of sort of, you know, pattern books and things. This I just did some stenciling in. I thought it just sort of took away that bright white, but you can still write over it or do whatever, add pictures, images. And then that's some tissue paper that was dyed, and then some lace all over the top. The other side. Oh, the reason this has got washi down there is because it started to come apart. It's that packaging paper that comes apart. So what I've done is I've put washi there, and it was coming apart at the seam here, so I put washi on both sides. You can see some stitching on there because on this side I stitched here just for interest. And I've done the same here, the washi, and this is pattern paper here. More grid paper, more of that paper. I need to cover that over the washi. Another one of those swatches with this gorgeous sort of embossed velvet, really pretty, love that. And then again, love this from the pattern book, really nice original page. And then I've added fabric here, and I've made it into a pocket, so I thought it went well. And I like the fact that it sticks out like that, really nice. That's a Franken page. And then here, this is just some swatching that I did many years ago, and I thought the colours matched really well. So I did that, and then I found this again. This was some swatch, so I popped that in there as well. And then more of this, art, more paper to work on. That's watercolour paper. more paper to work on, and then I created this journaling card. It looks like a swatch, fabric swatch, and a lace pattern as a pocket there, just card, well, it's paper, and then I've made it, backed it with card and then made a pocket. This is part of a little stitching thing that I did a while ago, and I'd cut it up into pieces, and I've used various bits in different places, you know, in different books and things like that. So I wanted to add it here, a little personal touch. I've tried to add as much personal touch in this book as I can. This I cut out of Daphne's Diary, an old one, and I've added some vintage lace and linen there, little swatch. Nice image there, love that lady laughing, really made me laugh. I'm not sure where I got that from, a magazine or something. And then that opens up like this, the flip. This is part of some artwork that I did a long time ago, 2009 I think, or 10, and basically tissue paper. I think it's Japanese paper, and then I've added the tissue paper, but I've added these in, which I thought went really well. These were part of the artwork that I did. So I've used some in other books. Got a little pocket there, and I did I glued this on, just sort of like a, I don't know, a bit of interest. So there's a pocket there. And that's the first signature, and then the second signature, I've added this envelope that I made a while ago. It's like an open envelope, so Helen can close it if she wants, or she can open it up and, you know, enjoy the image. Some really nice, very smooth vintage music sheet, and some a nice fabric tab there. So we're into the more nature, gardening, that sort of thing that she's interested in. I've added a poem from a vintage, actually it's antique, from an antique book, so I'll pop that in there. And this, which is a really nice image, this is Ruby and Pearl, I think. So I've added a few little touches of Ruby and Pearl, and that's Ruby and Pearl. Fussy Cut Bird, this is one of my little clusters with a gorgeous button, and that's antique lace there. I think that button is Mother of Pearl, really beautiful, and some velvet, really tactile, love that. It's one of my favourites. I was hoarding it, but I decided I would let it go. And then this is just a little tuck spot, you could tuck something in there. And I just created this for interest, a little swatch. Beautiful vintage book page, map page. I don't think this is a colouring book. You could use it as a colouring book, but it's a design book. Just check what it's called. I've got it here, Treasury of Flower Designs for Artists, Embroiderers and Craftsmen. So yeah, it's got lots of designs in it. I got it, don't know where I got this from actually. I would have bought it from probably a charity shop. It's lovely, really nice. So you could use it, you know, as a template for your designs and things. Yeah, really like that. So I took this out anyway and added it. Really pretty. And then this is a sewn in pocket with some vellum and two little scraps of paper. Well, it's not really a scrap, it's cut from a larger piece, so which I really liked, so I popped that in there. Excuse me. That's from a Reader's Digest gardening book, which I love the it's very distinctive. I've seen other people use it. Really nice. Feel like I've missed a page. Just go back a minute. No, I haven't. And then turning over, we've got this real flower. Sort of like a signature for me, I guess you could say. I mean, a lot of people do it, but it, you know, sort of adding a real flower. I add them to most of my books, and then I usually cover them over with something to protect them, and also it looks pretty. I love this image, and I wanted some roses in. The other side is really pretty, but I printed it. It's a ruby and pearl design, and I printed it on tracing paper, so really pretty. A vintage book page, and French it is. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, I think it is. And then I've made a journaling card. Fussy cut flower and some vintage book page, and then this is from an old birthday book that I had. This I made a little pocket with a little tag in, pretty design there. This was one of my jelly prints I did when I was, the very first time that I bought the jelly print pad thing, the gel print thing. I used it and I did these. I had no idea what I was doing, but I really liked the colour, and I thought, you know, the sort of colour went well with these three. So I actually added these to match this. So, but you know, it's interesting. And then, excuse me, I'll just get a drink. Excuse me. And then I have some old writing paper there to write on. Lots of space to write in this. A pretty design there. That's a sticker. This is another piece of, I think it might be from the same, where is it? I can find it, there it is. I think that, although no, it looks very different. It might be different then, but in the past I used to do these sort of little bits of fabric and then add things to them, and you know, do some slow stitching, and I would often include paper. So this is tracing paper. This was done a long time ago. I mean, so many years I can't remember. I'm just going to see if I can get this. It's actually a little pocket, but I don't. Oh yeah, you can. I can move the paper around, but I don't know if I can get it out. Anyway, there's a little tiny piece of paper in there. So she would have fun trying to get that out. And this is Ruby and Pearl. Yes, it is, from La Luna, and I loved this, and I wanted to include some words and some writing, so and I love that background, it's gorgeous, so yeah, included that. And then more pages to write on, and this is one of my watercolours with some stamping, a real flower, some beautiful vintage lace and chiffon. Love that. It's one of my favourites. I did a whole load of them one time in the Tuck Spot. Just going to have a drink. Excuse me. This is going on for a while. And then I've got this lovely image here, and I wanted to add it, so I stuck it on and then added that. And then again, more fabric. This is sort of like a velvet velour type fabric, and I backed it with card or paper or something, and then made a pocket. And I added this journaling card. Really like this. Again, Ruby and Pearl, and just very simple bow, you know, using simple fabric. Oh, and a little swatch that I did a while ago, and I did little leaves in the bottom. Again, these are things that I've done over time, and I've, you know, brought them out to look at and for inspiration, and used some of them. So, and then I've, oh yes, I'll come to that. So then this is another page, and I've just added this I love this flower, and I ripped it out and used that. And this is one of those Reader's Digest. It's that I showed you before. Yeah, I think it was here, there. So they were on the same page. So and I backed it with some pretty card, and then made a tuck spot here. I'm using some brown packaging paper, and I added this lovely vintage lace there. Another pretty page there to do whatever with. I thought it would make a nice background, and then added little gold butterfly prints there, stamps rather, and then the same here type of thing. Tuck spot, and I made a card. I did some crazy machine stitching, which I've never done before, I don't think. I can't remember ever doing it. I don't even know why I did it. You know, I sort of put all these together and glued them on, and then so I didn't need to do it, but yeah, I just went a bit mad with the sewing machine. So yeah, little tuck spot there using one of these Tim Holtz. Another swatch, cluster rather, some green little. It's about 4 different types of fabric there, and stitched on with some little stitches there, seed stitches or whatever. I made this paper with using florists sort of, I don't even know what you call this, but it's what florists use to wrap bouquets in. I got a chunk of it, and I don't even know where it came from. And then I sandwiched it between 2 tissue paper. I was doing some experimenting, so I did that. This was a while ago. So I've used it in some of it. I'm run out now. I think I've only got 1 little piece left, so I'll make some more. And then I've added some vintage lace there. Oh, fussy cut. Love that pansy. Absolutely love it. I try to include it in some of my books when I do flowers and things. So that's tea dyed, coffee dyed or tea dyed. The other side of that, Luna, more parchment paper. Other side of that, fussy cut print. Added these little images on either side, just pretty, homely. Another embroidery of mine. It was part of a larger piece, and I cut it off because I didn't like the rest of it, so I cut that off, and that's got this really pretty embroidery on the side there that I didn't do. That's, yeah, but I thought the colours matched again, so I like that. Oh yes, so this is the other side of that ruby and pearl image, which is just, look at it, it's so beautiful, love it. And then a pocket here with a vintage book page, and this is called Looking Back. So it's about gardening, looking back at gardening. So I thought that Helen would be interested in that. And then this beautiful design here from Selvage magazine. The other side of that design book, isn't that lovely? And then look at the colours on here, love that. Did a little fussy cut bird on here. Is that Africa? Mexico, Dominican Republic. So it's, the bird has obviously flown away to warmer climes. And then I've got this pocket here with some really pretty paper, and then I made this little journaling card or whatever you want to call it. You can write on it. There's plenty of space to write on it. And then a little swatch of fabric there. And then we've got a flip out here. So this was from, so this is Vintage Map, and then I've sort of, you know, folded it over so it's one sort of fairly sturdy piece. I think that was from Daphne's Diary, or it was from a magazine that I cut out. So I fussy cut it out and put it on. Really like that. And then that's the, oh, I thought it was the final page. Well, so then I have this page here that could write on or put something in. Nice large page. And then this is one of Ruby and Pearl's hearts, so I've left it as a little tuck there and added this gorgeous little image inside, and then added that beautiful rose there that I backed and fussy cut it out. Backed it onto card because it was going to be part of a card, but decided to use it there. And then that's the back here, just says poster for a wallpaper factory in London. I thought she might like that. And that's it. So yeah, I hope you like it. I hope Helen likes it. I mean, I'm quite anxious about it. You know, there's so much that I could have done. I could have just kept going and going and going, and it got fatter and fatter, as you can see. And this just can just wrap around there and then come down like that. And you've got I didn't bother putting it into a bow because I quite like it wrapped like that. But obviously Helen can have it any which way she likes. And I love that button. I only found it the other day. I've never seen it before, in fact, but it was in my stash, so must have been there for a while. Absolutely love it. It's like a lilac colour. And then I'll give you the measurements. So this is a big chunky one. It's a big one. It is 26, just over 26 centimetres, so 10 and a quarter inches. And 17 and 3/4 centimetres, so it's just 7, just over 7 inches. And then the spine, I've got 2 signatures, as you know, and it's under, yeah, I mean, if I squeeze it, it's under 1 inch, about 2.5 centimetres. So yeah, so those are the books. I hope you like them. I will be back to do more videos now that I'm freed up and all well. I know it's a time when colds and things like that are going about, and as I said, you know, chronic pain, and I've mentioned it before, is a devil at this time of the year, because it just affects it, you know, arthritis or whatever it is that you have. So I hope you keeping warm and looking after yourself, lots of you know, herbal drinks and what have you. And yeah, so look after yourselves, take care everyone, and I will be back very soon. Bye for now.